Hi Shriya, how are you?
Hi, I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm very good. काय चाललंय तुझं?
For a change, I have a very relaxed evening. आणि माझ्या नेक्स्ट ताजा खबर 2 च्या रिलीजचं प्रेप चाललंय आणि नवरा
बरोबर.
माझा नवसाचा 2 च्या रिलीजचं पण प्रेप चाललंय. सो आय एम
Oh,
प्रेपिंग फॉर 2 डिफरंट थिंग्स.
we're super excited for both those things for you.
Thank
And
you.
I can't wait to see you in a film that, your dad was in and your mom was in. And like, oh my
No,
God,
I'm not in the film.
you're not in the film?
Of course, I'm not in the film because if I was in the film, I would have announced it by now.
But all of this is so super exciting. And welcome to Sakar Petopia.
Thank you.
My name is RJ Meenal, and this is a show that happens every Saturday on Fever FM in Pune. And we
Okay.
talk about pets.
Yes.
So today you are not Shriya Pilgaonkar, the actress. You're Shriya Pilgaonkar, the pet parent.
Pet pen. If my mother was here, she would totally disagree. By the way, is this interview in Marathi or English? What's
That's
the
Hindi, English, Hindi, English, Marathi, everything. Sagro.
everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll keep it Marathi,
Ha.
English, if
Yes.
that is what you prefer. I Asita, she would totally agree because I think I'm a pet spoiler. And I consider myself a pet parent, but my mother would totally disagree because she would say that then you need to take more responsibilities.
Oh
But
yeah.
then I feel like, yeah, but I feel like I am a very hands-on pet parent.
Oh, काय करतेस तू? तुला वेळ मिळतो का पेट्स तुझ्या पेट बरोबर?
Honestly, I'll tell you what, माझा जो जॅक आहे, एक तर आता 10 वर्षाचा आहे तो आणि मी त्याला 10 वर्षांपूर्वी वर्ल्ड फॉर ऑल अडॉप्शन कॅम्प होता
हो.
आणि त्यांना हेल्प करायला म्हणून मी एक शॉर्ट फिल्म बनवत. आय वॉज
बर.
कव्हरिंग
बरोबर.
अँड while doing that, I saw a bunch of dogs आणि एका टेबलवरती ते टिपिकल क्यूट डॉग्स होते आणि सगळे तिथेच जात होते ना रिबन्स घातलेले
बरोबर.
आणि एका टेबलावरती म्हणजे अगदीच एक डोळा नसलेला एक पाय नाही आणि असे डॉग्स होते अँड आय वियर्ड मोर टुवर्ड्स दॅट टेबल and there was a dog, black and white, beautiful dog, whose name I was told was Tom. आणि इव्हेंच्युअली त्या दिवशी बरीच डॉग्स अडॉप्ट झाली, but few of them didn't get adopted. He didn't get adopted. And he was on my mind. And I told Ai about him, and he was on Ai's mind also. And eventually, एक अजून एक adoption camp झाला for the remaining dogs. And then we just went for it and we got Jack. And this was after 4-5 years, I think, after losing our first dog, German Shepherd, Hobo. So
बरोबर.
it's म्हणजे खूप असं ट्रॉमॅटिक असतं. इट्स लाईक लुझिंग अ फॅमिली मेंबर, यु नो.
बरोबर.
सो त्या टाइम मध्ये मी फॉस्टर करत होते, अडॉप्ट करत होते, पण तेवढं करेज मिळत नव्हतं की घरी यु नो एक
बरोबर.
आणायला. सो वी गॉट जॅक आणि माझी ड्युटी मेन आहे की जॅक माझ्या बेडवरती माझ्या बरोबर झोपतो.
Oh.
लिटरली म्हणजे तो ही इज द किंग ऑफ द हाऊस आणि तो मला बुली करतो. सो इफ यू आस्क मी त्याला बॉक्सला नेते का तर नाही, कारण मला कोणी ट्रस्टच करत नाही की मी त्याला नीट वॉक करू शकते ना. दीज आर ट्रस्ट इश्यूज which which is really sad. पण आई माझी परफेक्शनिस्ट आहे. While raising me also, she was an absolute perfectionist with respect to कसं करायचं, काय करायचं, फूड अँड यु नो हेल्थ. आणि विथ जॅक ऑल्सो त्याच्या फिटनेससाठी ती सायकल करते आणि सायकल करता करता लीश वरती तो धावत असतो.
What?
Yeah, at not a dangerous pace, like a light pace, but that
हो, पण
becomes
त्याची
like a
पेस कोण कंट्रोल करतंय?
नाही. सायकलनी ही ट्रेन्ड लाईक दॅट. तर तो
हो.
हळूहळू ट्रॉट करतो.
बरोबर.
तो आणि मी त्याला नाही नेत चालवायला, तो मला नेतो.
हा,
तो मला ओढत ओढत असतो.
तेच मी म्हणत
So
होते.
therefore, as a pet parent, I think त्याचं न्यूट्रिशन किंवा एक्सरसाइजिंग मी स्वतः हे बघत नाही. बट आय एम ऑफकोर्स व्हेरी अवेअर अँड I think on a day-to-day basis, you have to be emotionally in touch with your pet,
बरोबर.
you know, because तुम्ही तुमच्या दुनियेत असता and but you have to be aware की त्यांचे टेंडन्सीज काही चेंज झालेत का, बिकॉज ते
बरोबर.
तुमचे पण इमोशन्स टॅप करतात.
हो.
सो आय स्पॉइल हिम, आय प्ले विथ हिम. मला वेळ मिळतो तेव्हा आय टेक हिम आउट फॉर ड्राईव्ह. अँड आय थिंक आम्हाला कसं फ्रेंड्स किंवा काहीतरी चेंज हवं असतं, तसं आय एम शुअर इवन ही लव्स दॅट.
बरोबर.
सो वी डू आवर बिट टू गिव्ह हिम व्हॉट एव्हर लव्ह वी कॅन.
Nakki's. But you've always had a pet at home, right? Like you mentioned you had a dog before also. Have you always been
Much
raised with pets?
later, not when I was growing up.
Okay.
I
Okay.
had it, I think, hobo होता तेव्हा मी कॉलेजमध्ये होते. So I think
Fine.
17 years of age. आणि
बरोबर.
आईला आणि मला तर नेहमीच हवा होता. And I think Papa and Aji eventually, I mean, they love animals, but it's like having another family member. म्हणजे it can
बरोबर.
get overwhelming. My atya was a bit hesitant at first, but eventually आत्ता म्हणजे माझी आजी आरती घेऊन आधी त्याला देते रोज सकाळी. तो येतो आजीकडे आणि कितीही आम्ही केलं दिवसभर, पप्पा घरी आले तर जॅक जेवढं पप्पांसाठी त्याची टेल हलवतो. इट्स लाइक घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर ना.
Yes, yes, definitely. And it's always the ones who are apprehensive at first that get the most love from these pets. हो की नाही?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. And but you know what? Having, I don't want to use the pet, but like having a dog or any animal is a huge responsibility. खूप लोक कधी कधी आय नोटीस कॅज्युअली घेतात आणि
हो.
ऑफकोर्स ऍज पर युअर मीन्स तुम्ही काळजी घेऊ शकता. असं नाहीये की येस खर्च करायचा असेल तर खूप खर्चही होऊ शकतो. आय नो लॉट ऑफ पीपल हू आर व्हेरी
Family.
generous with
Yeah.
how much they want to do before their dog. And there are people who really still take such amazing care.
बरोबर.
So I don't think money always comes in the way, but you have to really, take it seriously. You
बरोबर.
can't take it.
बरोबर. So currently, Jack is an indie. Kai breed?
Yes, Jack Indie आहे आणि but त्याच्यात he's I think a cross between Indie and even like Dalmatian,
Oh,
because त्याचे spots आहेत and he's actually a big dog.
right.
And in fact, as we speak, you should do a pop-up of a picture with Jack. So
Yes.
लोकांना कळेल ते.
Kids.
And he has only one eye and he's a fighter dog. And I'll tell you something about him. की लहान असताना म्हणजे त्याचा जन्म नवी मुंबईला झाला. I know that also. आणि लहान असताना जी मुलगी काही कुत्र्यांची काळजी घेत होती बिल्डिंग मध्ये, शी टोल्ड अस दॅट त्याला आणि त्याच्या भावाला, टॉम आणि जेरी नाव होतं त्यांचं,
Ah,
someone adopted them earlier आणि तो मुलगा आय थिंक कामाला जायचा आणि लॉंग लीश वरती त्या पपीजना ठेवलं होतं. सो त्याचा भाऊ इंटँगल होऊन वारला त्याच्या बाजूला. सो जॅकला त्याचा खूप ट्रॉमा झाला. दिस वॉज अ लेसन टू लर्न दॅट पपी शुड नॉट बी केप्ट अलोन ऑन लॉंग लीशेस, व्हेरी लॉंग लीश.
right. Right.
आणि इव्हेंच्युअली जॅक कुठल्या तरी एका प्लेफुल मोड मध्ये एका दुसऱ्या कुत्र्याने ऍक्सिडेंटली त्याच्या नखानी त्याचा डोळा हे झाला
बापरे.
खूप लहान असताना. अँड द फोटोज आर हार्ट ब्रेकिंग, बट ही इज सच अ लिटल मफिन. मी तुला देन, यू कॅन पॉप दॅट ऑल्सो हिअर.
Yes.
सो तो एक फायटर डॉग आहे आणि त्याला एन्झायटी होती इन टर्म्स ऑफ लाऊड साऊंड्स आणि लिटल बिट ऑफ सेपरेशन एन्झायटी. पण आम्ही त्याला योगी डॉग म्हणतो, बिकॉज तो जेव्हा आमच्या घरी आला तेव्हा त्याला ऍटलीस्ट 3 महिने लागले टू रिअलाइज आता फायनली माझं घर.
Oh.
Because so he was
Yeah.
used to hopping, right?
बरोबर.
So
बरोबर.
now after 3 months, फिर वो अपने घर का मालिक बन गया, as
हाँ.
always. So yeah, he has those anxious tendencies, and he but is a fighter, and he's a huge dog. People often get surprised. आणि आम्ही त्याला गार्ड डॉग सारखं ट्रेन नाही केलंय, बट ही इज ऑल्सो अ गार्ड डॉग. त्याला लाऊड साऊंड किंवा अग्रेसिव्ह बॉडी लँग्वेज तो चावणार नाही, बट ही इज क्वाईट प्रोटेक्टिव्ह लाईक दॅट.
Nice.
And at the same time, तो म्हणजे एक फुल रॅबिट पण आहे. So it really, if he wants to intimidate, he'll intimidate you.
Yeah.
असं he can be a bully. Yeah.
Generally, dogs take up from their parents and their owners' personalities. So, who is he most
Well,
close to? In
Well,
terms of
I can
personality?
say I end up, he had, from what he's taken from me, definitely is like sometimes I can like get stressed.
हाँ.
And when I get stressed, maybe, I mean, I'm not a hyper person, but if I'm like stressed about something or too worried about something, I feel like he catches on to that. I
Oh.
actually feel like there was a phase of 2-3 months last year where I was like really stressed about a couple of things, and he got skin issues at the same time.
Oh.
So yeah, so that was bizarre. But otherwise, like my house is a very peaceful house. So we don't like, I'm not sure where he gets that this thing from, but we love it because I think it's important for dogs to also scare people.
येस फॉर शुअर. नाहीतर आजकाल तर सगळ्यांचेच पेट्स अगदी प्रेमळ, फ्रेंडली. नो
Right, but
बॅड डॉग
he
इन्स्टिंक्ट.
loves. मी सांगते तुला, जॅक फेमस का आहे आमच्या फॅमिली मेंबर्स मध्ये आणि आमच्या गेस्ट मध्ये, त्याला लोक एवढी आवडतात. And
ओ
this is, I think, what he's taken from us is that like our living room will be the center of the house, where we do spend time in the living room, on the dining table. आणि
Right.
त्यांनी आमच्याकडनं काय घेतलं असेल? लव्ह फॉर फूड. पप्पा आणि मी फूडीज कम्प्लिटली. मला सतत काही ना काहीतरी मंच करायला हवं असतं. तर आम्ही घाणेरडी त्याला सवयमध्ये लावली होती की ऑफ आर प्लेट एनिथिंग हेल्दी, म्हणजे काकडी किंवा
बरोबर.
असं काहीतरी वी वुड ड्रॉप. आणि आमचा ग्लास टेबल आहे, तर तो खाल्ल्यावरती त्याला दिसतं काय खातोय, आणि तो असं ठेवतो आणि जस्ट लुकिंग. आणि मग म्हणून पप्पा जेवताना, मी जेवताना आम्ही थोडंसं त्याचं काहीतरी फूड ठेवतो, सो दॅट ही फील्स लाईक ही इज इन्क्लुडेड इन इट.
बरोबर, बरोबर.
So yeah, and I was saying guests enjoy his company because he sits like an adult. He'll just sit in
Oh,
with people.
and partake.
म्हणजे असं, yeah,
Silent
he'll just be
partake.
sitting. He'll just be sitting, and even when we have a guest room where Papa sometimes does his meetings, and tithe now his writers and all, they all know that Jack will come, so they leave space. And we are actually we have not stopped our dog from couch वरती नको बसू इथे, तो माझ्या
बरोबर,
गादीवरती झोपतो. आई
बरोबर.
पप्पाच्या गादीवरती त्याला अलाउड नाहीये. कधी कधी
बरं.
तो आम्हाला न कळता बसतो.
ओह!
But a lot of people may not be comfortable with him sitting next, but we've converted them because they have no option.
बरोबर. घर कोणाचं आहे?
जॅकचं आहे,
हो.
जॅकचं घर आहे. Yeah.
पण बरेचशी अशी लोकं आहेत अँड बिकॉज यू मेन्शन्ड दॅट यू लॉस्ट अ पेट बिफोर. बरेचशी अशी लोकं आहेत. आय नो अ लॉट ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स ज्यांनी पेट्स घेतले नाहीयेत बिकॉज दे लाइक वी ऑलवेज एंड अप आउटलिव्हिंग देम अँड आय डोंट वांट टू गो थ्रू दॅट हार्ट ब्रेक, यू नो. And what would you like to say to somebody like that? Do you think that one must experience the love of a pet, one must have one, and what would you say to people like that?
I don't think it would be right of me to tell someone how to process their grief
Yeah,
or how to deal with it. I would say though that love heals you,
right.
and something that as a family आम्ही consciously काय केलं is that खूप लोक breeds घेतात, and that's fine, there's no judgment. ते ना breed shaming पण नाही केलं पाहिजे, because काही लोकांना जर का घ्यायचंय, fair enough, but it has to be ethical. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
What they say usually, yes, it's encouraged to adopt and not shop.
yeah,
And also adoptions पण म्हणजे असं नाही की तुम्ही कुठलेही डॉग्स घेतात. काही
बरोबर,
डॉग्स आहेत who are very comfortable in their areas outside, you can take care of them outside. पण
बरोबर,
जे डॉग त्यांना अबॅन्डन केलं असतं, who are not used to living outside, or who have some disability, they need adoption more than anything else. So it's
बरोबर,
not mindlessly just adopting anybody, because it's
बरोबर.
impossible, right?
Yeah,
एवढे आहे. तर तुम्ही कम्युनिटीमध्ये ऑफकोर्स तुम्हाला ते इफ यू वॉन्ट टू टेक केअर, देर आर सेव्हरल कम्युनिटीज वेगवेगळ्या लेन्समध्ये पीपल सिस्टमॅटिकली टेक केअर. बट टू युअर क्वेश्चन आय वुड से की टेक युअर टाइम, बिकॉज आमच्यासाठी पण इझी नव्हतं. आणि कुठेतरी it's not even, तुम्ही हे पण नाही सांगू शकत it's love like a child or a parent, because ते एवढं unconditional love असतं, where there is no
बरोबर,
expectation of any sort, and they never grow up. You are growing up, they never
बरोबर,
grow up.
बरोबर.
So that is hard to replace. But I found ki I used that emotion, or I used that emotion specifically by going and taking care of fostering other dogs.
Oh,
Yeah, so me for about 2 or 1 year after Hobo, 1 year nahi, but after that I would just foster dogs घरी. मला ते जास्त emotionally difficult झालं.
oh,
Because
really?
yeah, I
Keep
found that
some
difficult.
days and then you have to part with it.
Pathways.
Yeah,
That I mean, I have to still be mentally strong to do that. I haven't been able to do that with Jack because he's territorial because of his history. He
बरोबर,
doesn't mix that much with dogs.
right.
पण आय वुड से की मे बी जर का तुम्हाला लगेच एंगेज करायचं नसेल, घ्यायचं नसेल, तर ऑफ कोर्स ॲब्सोल्युटली टेक युअर टाईम विथ इट.
Yeah.
बट तुम्हाला खूप नक्कीच जॉय मिळेल टू व्हॉलंटिअर मे बी,
Yeah.
टू फॉस्टर, आणि तुम्हाला ते मिळेल जॉय. सो यू कॅन स्टार्ट विथ फॉस्टरिंग,
Absolutely.
आणि you just have to cross that line. And I will say की आम्ही डिसाइड केलं आहे की I don't know आम्ही at any point if we will consider if we want more dogs, like if we do any breed, like golden doodles are something I love, and at one point I really want a golden doodle. But आम्हाला आता whenever next I would love to get a black female indie,
Oh,
because सर्वात जास्त abandoned ते असतात.
oh, really?
लोक ना ब्लॅक डॉग्स बद्दल सुपरस्टिशियस आहेत, and this is it's very inbuilt, I would say, an inbuilt block in people's heads.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
I thought it was
yes,
always a black
people.
cat. Huh.
No, but even black
Black
dogs,
dog?
and even females, because
Ah,
we never had a female actually. So a dog,
barabar.
my mother and I were talking, a female energy dog. I would love to have a female next. Now I don't know what it's like to have a girl boss energy dog in the house.
Ah,
And
yeah,
त्यांची काळजी वेगळी असते, with
barabar.
everything else.
Yeah,
But we would love to have that next. And we've decided that we'll always do our best to support indies.
right, right,
Uh,
right.
even if we have another dog. आणि इनफॅक्ट आम्ही कन्सिडर हे पण केलं होतं की एक डॉग घेतल्यानंतर इमिजिएटली दुसरा घ्यायचा आहे का, बिकॉज नंतर सिम्युलेट व्हायला डिफिकल्ट होतं.
Barabar.
पण आमच्या घरी just because of all three schedules and house helps and RG, it was difficult to manage that. So we
Barabar.
didn't really do it. So yeah, people just have to take their time.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And I think fostering is a great idea. Like, I didn't think of it, but yeah, this is great advice for someone who's thinking of a pet but is worried about, all the things that come with a pet. So maybe fostering is a
But
great idea
you
to
know something, I totally understand though when people say that, we can't take it anymore, it's heavy. Ki that heaviness doesn't leave you for
Yeah,
a very, very long time.
yeah,
And sometimes you just need to give yourself time to, of course not, I'm not saying ki lagech foster kara kiwa he
barabar.
kara, because every dog is going to remind you of your dog, and you're going to feel as fragile and
Yeah,
asं होणार आहे. So
barabar.
really take whatever time you want, but do realize that that love is only going to heal you
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, of course. No, I was talking about people who've never had dogs before and they don't want to keep a pet in their home simply because, they don't want to experience that heartache after a pet is gone. So, and I'm constantly telling all my friends, no, but you have to experience the love a pet gives you. Like that's
But
just,
are there people who have never had a dog?
no, never had pets before, but they don't want to keep one because they're like, we will obviously outlive them and I don't want to go through that heartbreak with a pet. So
But
we
that's
love,
like saying who's to know. We have a family, who's to know who's going to go first or second.
yeah,
I think that's an excuse, to be honest. I also think that's an excuse because people are not sometimes, they're not honestly equipped, even financially or
yeah,
with people, human resources, to
yeah,
take care of their pets.
yeah,
आणि B, if they feel की त्यांना काळजी घ्यायची नाहीये, तर of course they're not going to tell you I can't take care of the dog.
yeah,
Because and I have seen people who म्हणजे ते नीट काळजी घेत नाहीत, आणि
yeah,
we can't tell them saying, he's not bathed building मध्ये दिसतोय की हे असं
बरोबर.
नाही. But that is very disturbing and heartbreaking.
Right.
But it's nice that today social media मुळे, suppose especially मी बघते Delhi based जिथे जास्त balconies वगैरे असतात,
हो.
तिथे जेव्हा there's been a lot of dog abuse or animal abuse where animals are kept outside, and other people report it immediately.
बरोबर, बरोबर.
So awareness तो असलाच पाहिजे about these things. Yeah.
नक्कीच, नक्कीच.
Yeah.
Speaking more about, of course, as much as we love our pets, I feel like love us back twice, thrice, much more, and that too unconditionally.
My
मला
dog hates cuddling, by the way.
what?
it is such a shame. No, so Jack, he gets minimum 50 kisses from me every day.
Right.
Minimum. My
बरोबर.
father is not a dog kisser. He's not going to kiss my dog,
Yeah.
But he will give him the best massages, and Jack only goes to Papa because of that. And mom and I spoil him. आमचं अशुगुशु. That is our
बरोबर.
stress buster. पण मला म्हणजे असंच वाटतं की रात्री झोपताना I have an image where both of us are in one blanket and like a 30-year-old marriage, he is facing the other way.
Really?
I'm facing this way. And I'm like, why is he giving 60-year marriage energy?
Oh no.
Sorry.
But that's the best thing about having a pet to like.
We don't listen to him. I don't care for his boundaries. We cuddle him आणि तो येतो ग, पण आम्ही ना अति करतो, obviously.
बरोबर.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of fostering, my husband and I, because both of us, he's a shippy and I am out of the house all the time. So keeping a pet, there's nobody here to look after the pet all day at home. But a lot of our family members and friends have pets, and when they go out on holidays, they keep them with us for a few days. Oh
But
my
then how do you manage them?
It's amazing. So most of the times it's when my husband comes back from ship, since he's a shippy. तो 7-8 महीने तो असतो घरी. So during that time we foster a lot of our friends and families ka pets, and when they have to go back to their house, I'm so heartbroken. Also ratri, especially 2-3 of our friends' dogs, they come and sleep between my legs. It's the best
Yeah.
feeling in the world. Oh my God.
It is the best feeling, and I've also noticed that couples who I've noticed have struggled to maybe have kids and to start a family
Yeah.
have also got dogs at that stage in their life.
Yeah.
To sort of maybe fill that void, because they want to nurture, and I think it's beautiful because I've observed how it's got the couples closer.
Yes, of course. I mean, my husband and I, when these pets are at home, are far more in sync, I feel like, than we are when we are just by ourselves. It's just.
Exactly. It's like a focal point, right?
Yeah.
And even pets, if someone is raising a family also at that stage, to have a pet in the house is beautiful. If of course if one can manage. आणि आम्ही कधी डॉगी डे केअर वगैरे नाही केलंय, बिकॉज आमच्या घरी असंच हेल्प असते, and he's very comfortable in the house. He's not a fan of going out. But I have friends who found excellent म्हणजे कर्जतला वगैरे असे long boarding, dog boarding, जिथे cameras असतात and you're seeing your dogs, you have the doggy monitor, and the dogs love it there. But then you have to also inculcate this habit आधीपासून.
बरोबर.
आम्ही ते Jackला कधी लावलं नव्हतं, so he's not a fan of it. आणि so आता options भरपूर आहेत. And again, I would say there is no rule to get, not to get. But in either case, I think more than about owning a dog and focusing on the word owning, I think it's just about taking care of them.
Yeah.
So whether you are doing it here or on the road, and actually they're taking care of us.
Yeah, for sure. नक्की. So Jack जेव्हा तुझ्याकडे आला, how old was he? 10 years ago? Jack
was actually 3 months old.
Oh.
Was just 3 months old when he came, and he was not a puppy, but his puppy was a fluff ball. But when he came to us, he was not a puppy.
Okay.
And in fact, touchwood, Atta also, if you see him, he is a big, strong dog with that zoomy puppy energy.
Oh, nice.
Still is, and he's promised me that he is going to live a good, at least like between 14 to 15 healthy years. It's a focus. I'm not going to be selfish and say, because because my last dog, we lost him at the age of 8.
Oh.
आणि तो वुल्फ होता. म्हणजे आमच्या घरी जेव्हा लोक यायची घोडा म्हणायची. We had his bloodline traced to Germany. He was the purest German shepherd, and he was like stallion. He was huge.
Wow.
And his siblings, खूप pure bred होता तो, and his siblings all passed away at the age of 8, and he got cancer. And he was very close to my mother. Very close म्हणजे ती बाथरूमला पण जायची तर तो बाहेर बसायचा. Their souls were intertwined.
So that she must have been devastated.
We all were devastated. Manje,
Yeah.
it was gut-wrenching pain. And to be honest, there are days where that fear of loss is there, but you can't live life with constantly
Yeah,
fearing that, because no
absolutely.
matter how much you prepare yourself, you are you're not going to.
Absolutely. For sure.
It's going to be tough, And Jack say, bichara say, maybe because of his inbuilt anxiety or whatever, that's a skin issues. Tala खूप आहेत. So we have to be
But,
very careful with
right.
what we give him, and Dadi and all of that. So
Sorry.
Teudha, as a pet parent, I
Yeah.
think you just have to be alert. As a pet parent, you have to just be alert at all points.
Correct. Sorry, I was asking you about how old he was because I wanted to know, like, what kind of training have you given him? Any kind of training, or has he always been someone who sort of has learned the way around the house and around you guys, and you all have your own love language between the two of you? What is it
He's
like?
a gangster. So Jack, we didn't do the hobo way with him. Hobo was trained by one season to dog shows ला पण नसा म्हणजे
Oh!
केलं त्यांनी. Because त्याच्यात ते instinctive आहे ना German
बरोबर.
Shepherdच्या.
बरोबर.
So hobo name I used to call him. He was fully trained. Jack is my Mawali gangster energy. He's come to the
Your
house with
Mirzapur dog.
my Mirzapur dog he is,
Yeah.
and he is very, very cool. And see, the thing is, आईचा complaint काय आहे की मी जॅकला कधी firstly Jack का, because one-eyed Jack.
बरोबर. Yes.
Jack Sparrow, one-eyed
Yes.
Jack,
Yeah.
pirate. And the funny part is when we got him, I was doing a French film. So मी पप्पांना सांगितलं त्याला Jacques बोलूया. Papa said नाही आम्ही Jacques नाही बोलणार आहोत त्याला. There is no Jacques, he is Jack. I said okay fine. Imagine Jacques. तर त्याचं नाव Jack Pilgaonkar आहे. Yeah. So we named him like that. And आईचं complaint आहे की Jack सोडून मी त्याला सगळी नावं बोलते. Babuzi, Babuski, Jaco. Manje I have 1,000 names for him. I'm
बरोबर.
a crazy person when I speak to him. Nobody will understand this language. And Aila Bhaskarata, she has to tell me because I'm like, I can't speak to him normally. Something's wrong with me. I can't talk to him normally. तर त्याच्यामुळे he of course he knows his name आणि त्याला
बरोबर.
he opens doors.
Oh!
त्याला दरवाजे he knows how to jump and open door and he'll take few steps. It's hilarious. I should post that on Insta actually. He's not
You
done it in a
you should.
while. Yeah. The basic things he knows, he'll know all of that. But
Right.
tricks, kahi dogs, my friends' dogs have invested time in teaching tricks.
बरोबर.
Jaco
ये
असा
मर्जी का
नाही.
मालिक है.
ये मर्जी का मालिक है, but सगळं करतं. म्हणजे त्याला if I tell him he sleeps in my room, and when my maushi comes, she sleeps with me, and Jack's side la. Jack has his own bed, and that bed is on my bed, basically.
Oh.
So when my maushi comes, she sleeps next to me. त्याला आधी कळतं की आहे, and when he knows that someone's there, he will not create a fuss because he knows. And he's waiting for people to leave if they're coming and staying with me, because he's been displayed.
Yeah.
आणि त्यांना लिटरली सांगायला लागतं की जॅक आता बघ संगीता मावशी येणार आहे ना, यू स्लीप आउटसाइड. ह्या टोन मध्ये अंडरस्टँड्स एव्हरीथिंग. आणि एक डोळा असल्यामुळे ऑल दॅट लाईफ इज इन दॅट वन क्रेसेंट मून आय ऑफ हिज, विच इज सो ब्युटिफुल. तो एक्सप्रेसिव्ह आहे, खूप एक्सप्रेसिव्ह.
So cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what if you find somebody who is not into animals, who's not into dogs? Would you?
I will never naturally
Never,
not get
no.
attracted. Trust me, it's impossible. It's impossible. You can be anybody on this earth, but
Yeah.
if you make a statement like, I don't like animals or I don't like dogs, I am sorry. That is a red flag to me. I mean, I have a lot of I like cats too, but I haven't hung around with cats. So I don't know what cat energy is. I'm not that dog lover who will be like, ew, cats. Asa nahi hai माझं. I love all animals. But naturally, I'm a dog person.
बरोबर.
But anybody, ते माझ्या radar मध्ये येतच नाही. येतच नाही माझ्या radar मध्ये in general. I don't know people who are like this. But we always notice कि Jack with certain people is more different, and with certain people he is different. So that's
Oh.
interesting for me to observe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's interesting. And I also have filtered people out of my life, based on what? Based on how much they ask me about how Jack is doing.
Really?
I mean, anyway, I have a smaller circle,
हाँ,
but I realized that actually a few people in my life, you naturally your life gets filtered out, right?
बरोबर,
Over the
बरोबर.
years.
Yeah, yeah.
तर काही लोक who I realized की I used to wonder की सपोज मला माहितीये तुझ्याकडे पेट आहे, मी
बरोबर.
तुला एका वर्षात एकदा पण नाही विचारणार का की तो कसा आहे? You know what I'm saying?
बरोबर,
So
बरोबर.
for me that was like असं कसं? That's little weird, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Out.
That's amazing. Where is he? Is Jack at home? Is he with?
You know what? Unfortunately, right now I am in my office workspace.
Oh.
Jack आता माझ्याकडे नाहीये, पण मी तुला क्लिप पाठवीन.
And I was hoping for some nice cuddles.
अगं नाही ग, तो आता I had to come here for some work, so
बरोबर.
I'm here right now. But
No problem. But send me
त्याचं
pictures
जास्त
for
आता
sure.
walking. Sorry?
Send me pictures for sure.
No, 100%. He's a very photogenic dog.
Oh,
Extremely photogenic. Recently, I was doing a shoot in my house with a photographer, and he just entered the frame,
right.
and he looks like this angel. And he's I call him heartbreaker. म्हणजे he has that
Oh.
energy
So
of
cool.
like a heartbreaker dog. Yeah. मी तुला फोटोज नक्की पाठ. नमस्कार, मी श्रिया पिळगावकर आणि तुम्ही ऐकत आहात सकाळ पेटोपिया on the Fever Breakfast Show with RJ Meenal.
Thank you so much, Shriya. It was so lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much. And I'll send you photos of Jack for sure, because
Yes,
that 100% you should like show his pictures.
for sure. And anytime you're coming to Pune with Jack, I'd love to come personally, give hugs
Of
and.
course.
Yeah.
When you come to Bombay.
Does he travel? Does he
हो
travel?
करतो, but not long distance असं खूप नाही. Like I said, he enjoys cars and stuff, but
Yeah.
he's not too much into let's mingle with other dogs and stuff. So we don't really take him. He's very happy building मध्ये chilling, playing.
बरोबर,
And he
बरोबर.
loves to play. So by the way, something that I didn't say, which I want to mention, is Jack's toy collection is so precious. म्हणजे त्याच्याकडे सगळे इनक्रेडिबल टॉयज आहेत जे आमचे इंटरनॅशनल म्हणजे अमेरिकेला वगैरे राहणारे
बरोबर.
सगळी लोक त्याच्यासाठी गिफ्ट आणतात. म्हणजे मोर दॅन एनिथिंग एल्स, लाईक दे नो गुड क्वालिटी टॉयज.
बरोबर.
So he loves to play. So that is
Yeah.
one thing. So maybe you should get him a toy.
Yes, for sure. Nakkiz. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
An initiative by Sakar Media.